Welcome to the Moon Talks with Dad channel. Today, we will explore the Six Thinking Hats framework, a systematic method designed to untangle complex decisions and conflicts by examining different perspectives, such as facts, emotions, risks, and creativity, one at a time. Have you ever stared at a difficult problem and felt completely paralyzed? That happens because your brain is screaming logical facts. Your heart is yelling emotional feelings, and your gut is churning with anxiety. When all of that hits you simultaneously, your thoughts tangle up like overlapping harsh static. There's a brilliant solution to this chaos. It's called the Six Thinking Hats framework, originally developed by Dr. Edward de Bono to systematically untangle our minds. The core power of this tool is that it forces your brain to isolate specific perspectives one at a time. Instead of trying to process everything all at once, you compartmentalize, completely preventing cognitive overload. Let's break down exactly how these hats work. When you put on the white hat, you act like a computer. Your strictly defined role is to gather objective data, state the hard facts, and identify exactly what information you still need. Next is the yellow hat. This is your lens of strict optimism. Here, you are actively searching for the constructive aspects of a situation, finding the real value and benefits even if the idea seems terrible at first glance. The red hat gives you a dedicated space for pure emotions and gut feelings. Absolutely no logic or justification is allowed in this phase. You just state exactly how you feel. On the flip side, the black hat is your tool for realistic, cautious judgment. This is used for vital risk assessment and safety. It helps you spot critical flaws to protect yourself and your project. Once you find those risks, you use the green hat. This is your completely open, creative space dedicated to brainstorming provocative ideas and alternative solutions to overcome the objections you just raised. Finally, we have the blue hat. Think of this as the conductor. It doesn't actually solve the problem itself, but rather synthesizes the ideas and keeps the other hats on track to ensure the sequence is followed properly. Let's see how this builds into a real-world scenario. Imagine a couple arguing over financial contributions, where one feels deeply unappreciated, while the other feels defensive about a lower income. Normally, this triggers a toxic shouting match. Let's look at what happens when they apply the framework. First, the blue hat establishes ground rules, ensuring neither person points fingers. Then, they switch to the white hat. They place an objective ledger on the table, laying out exactly who pays what, looking strictly at the raw financial numbers without any judgment. Next, wearing the red hat, they safely express their feelings of hurt and inadequacy without having to prove why. Once those emotions are out, they don the black hat to logically assess the situation, recognizing that if they don't fix this financial friction, resentment will build and destroy the relationship. To counter that risk, the yellow hat helps them pivot and acknowledge the non-financial value they bring to the household, like daily chores. From there, the green hat creates a space to brainstorm creative compromises, like agreeing to trade doing the grocery shopping for paying the utility bill. Now, I want you to put on your blue hat. Pause the video right here, look at the steps we've completed, and write down how you would synthesize these green hat ideas into a final, actionable plan before we continue. In the final step, the couple puts the blue hat back on to synthesize all the generated ideas. They finalize a workable, healthy path forward. By separating their thoughts, they stopped fighting and successfully collaborated to solve the problem together. Here is a complete summary matrix of all 6 thinking perspectives. Take a screenshot and save this as a practical tool to reference the next time you face a difficult conflict. As Tony Robbins says, you choose to decide your own destiny, not your circumstances. By using structured frameworks like this, we stop being victims of our tangled emotions and take deliberate control of our choices. So, which thinking bias do you struggle with the most? Do you get trapped in the emotional red hat, or do you let the overly cautious black hat stop you from taking necessary risks?